Hello everyone, welcome to our chapter Human Reproduction. Sexual reproduction is the only method of reproduction in human beings. Like mammals, human beings are viviparous. Viviparous means give birth to young ones. Clear test. Reproduction is the production of young ones by an organism. Humans are reproducers only by sexual reproduction. The humans are viviparous. Sexual reproduction involves fusion of the male gamete and the female gamete from the reproductive organs of two different individuals of different sexes. It involves two parents. Each parent produces gametes. Male gametes are called sperms, while female gametes are called eggs. Clear? During fertilization, these gametes fuse to form zygote, which later develops into a new individual. A special organ system, reproductive system, is responsible for carrying out the process of reproduction in humans. Reproduction is not a life process. Life process means without that process an organism can't live. Life processes included digestion, respiration, excretion, circulation, like that. All these are included in the life process. But reproduction is a biological process. It's not a life process. Reproduction is needed for continuing the generation. Got it? These are the main reproductive events occurs in humans. Okay. The first one is gametogenesis. Second one, insemination. Next, fertilization. Next, cleavage, implantation, gestation, and parturition. Okay. So, gametogenesis, that you know. What is gametogenesis? The formation of the gametes that are known as gametogenesis. And the next one is insemination. Insemination means transfer of sperms into the female genital tract. That is known as insemination. Then the fertilization is the fusion of male and female gamete to form a zygote. That is known as fertilization. The fertilization product. What is the fertilization product? Fertilization product is the zygote. Okay, so next one is the cleavage. The repeated mitotic. Clear it is mitotic. Mitotic means equational division. The repeated mitotic divisions of the zygote, that is known as cleavage. Then the next one is implantation. Implantation. Attachment of the cleavage product to the wall of the uterus. Clear? Attachment of the cleavage product to the wall of the uterus. Actually, the cleavage product blastocyst is attached to the wall of the uterus. Then the next one is gestation. Gestation means the embryonic or fetal development in the uterus of the mother, that is known as gestation period. All mammals have gestation period, but it varies from species to species. Clear? In case of humans, require 9 months and 9 days. Approximately we are telling that is a 10 months. Okay, actually 9 months and 9 days. Clear? But in case of elephant, approximately they require 2 years. Okay, so each and every organism, the gestation period is very different or varied. Then the next step is parturition. Parturition means delivery of the baby. That is known as parturition. So these steps are very important as a need, or the aspect of need. These are giving in an incorrect order and asking you to make it a correct order. Okay, so these steps are very important. Gametogenesis, formation of gamete. Insemination, the transfer of sperms into the female genital tract. Fertilization, the fusion of the male and the female gamete. Cleavage, mitotic division. Implantation, attachment of blastocyst to the wall of the uterus. Attachment of the blastocyst to the wall of the uterus. Then gestation, embryonic or fetal development in the uterus of the mother. That is known as gestation. And the last one is parturition. Parturition means gives birth to young ones. Okay. So all the above reproductive events, all these reproductive events are occurs in human after puberty. After puberty. Puberty means period of sexual maturity. Okay. At the age of 11 or 12, the period of sexual maturity occurs. Why this type of chapters included in your NCERT textbook? To give an awareness about reproductive system of both men and women, and also the related parts, and next chapter, the continuing chapter, that is assisted reproductive techniques and diseases which are related to this sexual process. Okay, so given awareness, on that basis this type of chapters are included in your textbook. So you give, when you are studying digestive system last year and you study respiratory system, give that much of importance to studying this type of chapter. Okay, don't neglect this chapter. It is very important chapter and mark weightage chapter. So puberty is the period of sexual maturation. Reproductive system of both sex consists of organs which can be distinguished as primary and the secondary sex organs. Clear this? You can read this. Male, sex male, the main or the primary sex organ, that is testis. And the secondary sex organs are, in case of male I am telling, vas deferens, epididymis, prostate, seminal vesicle, penis. Clear it is. In case of female, the primary sex organ, that is ovary, and the secondary sex organ, that is oviduct, uterus, vagina, mammary gland. It doesn't mean the secondary sex organs are formed at the time of puberty. It have in body of both male and female, but it get matured at the time of puberty. Clear it is. The male, the main secondary sexual characters are low pitch voice, and the formation of beard and mustache. Then broad shoulder and narrow hips. In case of female, high pitch voice, smooth face, narrow shoulder, broad hips. Okay, all these are the features of the female secondary sexual characters. Many more are there. I just selected some and write here. Okay, so the organs which neither produce gametes nor sex hormones but perform important function in reproduction, that is known as secondary sex organ. Got it? Organs which neither produce gametes. These portions are never produce the gametes and never produce the sex hormones, but they needed for the formation or the functioning of the reproduction. That is known as secondary sex organs. Okay. The phenomenon when the male and the female individuals are differentiated externally, that is known as sexual dimorphism. Okay, external features we are seeing some person, we can identify it is a male, it is a female on the basis of the external features what they have. That is known as sexual dimorphism. In case of hermaphrodite, you studied that what is hermaphrodite. It is not possible. Okay, so the humans are the examples for sexual dimorphic organism. Got it? So these are about the sexual characters in humans. So puberty, after puberty, the reproductive age or reproductive period starts down. So first we are discussing male reproductive system. Male reproductive system. The primary sex organ, that is testes, and the secondary sex organs. Secondary sex organs, that is vasa deferens, epididymis, vas efferentia, like that. Okay. First we are discussing what is testis. A pair of testes is situated outside the abdominal cavity in the sac of skin. Okay, the name of the sac of skin, that is known as scrotal sac or scrotum. Got it? Male reproductive system is located in the pelvis region. It consists of a pair of testes, accessory ducts, glands and external genitalia. Testes which are located outside the abdominal cavity within pouches, that is known as scrotal sac or scrotum. Why the scrotal sac or testis seen outside the body? The reason is normal body temperature is 36.9. That you know. Okay. So on that temperature, the sperms can't be withstand. So the scrotal sac, the temperature is maintained about 32 degrees Celsius. 32 degrees Celsius. Okay. The testis produces spermatozoa. That means sperms. Testis produces spermatozoa and also secrete male sex hormone androgens. Male sex hormones are collectively known as androgens. Okay. The process of spermatogenesis, sperm forming process, that is known as spermatogenesis. Genesis means synthesis. For the formation or the maturation of the spermatogenesis, the sperms require temperature lower than our interior body temperature. Okay. Testes are made up of, or testes are consist of 3 layers of tissues. The 3 layers are tunica vaginalis, tunica albuginea, tunica vasculosa. Tunica vaginalis, tunica albuginea, tunica vasculosa. A fibrous cord that extends from the caudal end of the testis. A fibrous cord that extends from the caudal end of the testis to the scrotal wall, that is known as gubernaculum. A fibrous cord that extends from the caudal end of the testis, okay, to the scrotal wall, that is known as gubernaculum. Actually, the testis, when the baby is seen in mother's womb, the testis is seen inside the body. At the time of 8th month of pregnancy, they descend into the scrotal sac of scrotum through inguinal canal. Inguinal, INGUINAL, inguinal canal. അമ്മയുടെ ബോഡിക്കകത്ത് ഇരിക്കുമ്പോൾ 8 മാസമൊക്കെ ആകുമ്പോഴാണ് ടെസ്റ്റിസ് എങ്ങോട്ട് വരുന്നത്. അതായത് ആൺകുട്ടിയുടെ ബോഡിയിൽ നിന്നും എവിടെ വരുന്നു, അത് സ്ക്രോട്ടത്തിലേക്ക് പുറത്തേക്ക് വരുന്നത്. അതുവരെ 8 മാസം വരെ എന്തായിരുന്നു, കുട്ടിയുടെ അകത്തായിരുന്നു അല്ലെ. അതിൽ നിന്നും സ്ക്രോട്ടത്തിലേക്ക് കൊണ്ടുവരുന്ന കനാലാണ് എന്ത്, ഇൻക്വിനൽ കനാൽ. ക്ലിയർ അല്ലേ? ഓക്കെ. So I told you that the testis having 3 layers: tunica albuginea, tunica vasculosa, and the tunica vaginalis. Okay, so in this tunica albuginea divides the major part of the testis into about 250 compartments. That is known as testicular lobules. So the compartment which seen inside the tunica albuginea, that is known as testicular lobules. Okay, each testis is oval in shape and the length about 4 to 5 centimeter and the width is 2 to 3 centimeter. Oval in shape, length 4 to 5 centimeter and the width 2 to 3 centimeter. The layer tunica albuginea contains 250 compartments and each compartment are known as testicular lobules. Testicular lobules contain highly coiled seminiferous tubules. Okay, highly coiled seminiferous tubules are contained inside the testicular lobules. Between the seminiferous tubules, the cells are known as interstitial cells or Leydig cells. Leydig, the name given by Franz Leydig. The scientist name was Franz Leydig. Actually, this Leydig cells secrete androgens. Clear it is? Tunica albuginea എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ആ ലെയറിന്റെ അകത്ത് 250ഓളം കമ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് ഉണ്ട്. ആ ഓരോ കമ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിനെ വിളിക്കുന്ന പേരാണ് എന്ത്, ടെസ്റ്റിക്കുലാർ ലോബ്യൂൾസ് എന്ന്. ആ ഓരോ ലോബ്യൂളിന്റെ അകത്തും 1 മുതൽ 3 വരെ ഹൈലി കോയിൽഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള സെമിനിഫറസ് ട്യൂബ്യൂൾസ് കാണാനായിട്ട് സാധിക്കും. സെമിനിഫറസ് ട്യൂബ്യൂളുകളുടെ ഇടയിലുള്ള സെൽസുകളെ വിളിക്കുന്ന പേരാണ് ഇന്റർസ്റ്റീഷ്യൽ സെൽസ്, അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ ലെയ്ഡിക് സെൽസ്. ലെയ്ഡിക് സെൽസ് എന്ന പേര് കൊടുത്തത് ആരാണ്, ഫ്രാൻസ് ലെയ്ഡിക്. These Leydig cells secrete the male hormone androgen, mainly testosterone. Clear it? Seminiferous tubule is lined on its inside by 2 types of cells. Male germ cells, that is known as spermatogonia, and the Sertoli cells. Okay, so this is the insider view of the testis. Here all these are the compartments. Okay, so inside each compartment it contain 1 2 3 seminiferous tubules. Seminiferous tubules contain 2 type of cells. One is spermatogonia cells and the another one is Sertoli cells. So spermatogonia cells and the Sertoli cells, these two cells are seen inside the seminiferous tubules. The gap or cells in between the seminiferous tubules, that is known as interstitial cells. These are again known as Leydig cells because this was found out by France Leydig. That's why its name is Leydig cells. The main function of this interstitial cell is to produce androgen. That means testosterone. It mainly produces the hormone testosterone. Clear it? This is the structure of testes. All the figures in your textbook, that is very important as your NEET exam and for the CBSE exam. So after this class, you draw this figure 5 times in your notebook and mail it. Okay. This is the testis portion. Testis is seen in the scrotum, and the skin which covered the penis, that is known as glans penis, and the foreskin. For the male, for the production of urine and for ejaculating the urine and ejaculating the sperm, having only one opening, that is penis. And these are the accessory glands that we didn't discuss, that are accessory glands. I'm just telling here the name: prostate, then the accessory duct, vasa deferens, urinary bladder, seminal vesicle, ureter, ejaculatory duct, rectum, anus, and the bulbourethral gland. Male having 3 glands. The main glands are seminal vesicle, prostate gland, and the bulbourethral gland. The male having only one opening for the excretion and for removing the or ejaculating the sperm. This is the structure of the sperm. The sperm having head, neck, and the tailpiece. Head contain plasma membrane. Okay. The next portion of the plasma membrane is acrosome. Next class I will discuss to you what is the acrosome. And the head portion also contain nucleus. Nucleus contain the chromosome material. And this neck portion contain mitochondria. For the movement of for moving into the genital tract, the sperm need energy. That energy get from this middle piece, because this middle piece contain mitochondria. Then the movement helps with the help of this tail. At the time of when this sperm enter into the female genital tract, only this nucleus only enter into the nucleus is entered into the female gamete and fusion occurs. All these parts just for helping the process of fertilization. Clear? From the father we get only the nucleus, not getting the mitochondria. Getting only nucleus. The nucleus containing the chromosomal material. Nucleus containing chromosomal material. And one more thing, that testes produce 1 million of male gametes. That is known as spermatocyte by the process of spermatogenesis. Okay, and I told you that seminiferous tubule is lined by 2 type of cells, that is spermatogonia, that means male germ. The most numerous are the smaller spermatogonia which undergoes spermatogenesis. So these are the spermatogonia cells. These spermatogonia cells undergoes spermatogenesis and produce sperms. Clear it is. Seminiferous tubules contain 2 type of cells: spermatogonia cells and the interstitial cells. Interstitial cells produces the hormones. Spermatogonia cells undergoes spermatogenesis and produce sperms. A few larger tall columnar Sertoli cells provide nutrition to the spermatozoa. These Sertoli cells provide nutrition to the forming sperms. The spermatids mature into spermatozoa in the cytoplasm of the Sertoli cells. Spermatogoniയിൽ നിന്ന് ഉടനെ തന്നെ എന്ത് ഫോം ചെയ്യില്ല? സ്പെർം ആയിട്ട് ഫോം ചെയ്യില്ല. ആദ്യം ഫോം ചെയ്യുന്ന രൂപം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് സ്പെമാറ്റിഡ്സ്. these spermatids mature into spermatozoa. Spermatozoa means sperms in the cytoplasm of the Sertoli cells. Clear it is? Spermatogonial cells undergoes division and first they produce spermatids. Spermatids mature into spermatozoa in the cytoplasm of the Sertoli cells. Mature spermatozoa are released from the Sertoli cells and become free in the lumen of seminiferous tubules by the process of spermiation. That means spermatids get converted into sperms by the process of spermiation. Sertoli cells secrete androgen binding protein ABP, which concentrates testosterone in the seminiferous tubules. Okay, and the Sertoli cell secrete another proteinaceous hormone, inhibin. What is gonadotropic releasing hormone? Gonadotropic, last year we studied that gonadotropic, GnRH, gonadotropic releasing hormone. Gonadotropic releasing hormone, it increases the secretion of both FSH and LH. FSH means follicular cell stimulating hormone and LH means luteinizing hormone. All these are the 6 hormones last year we studied. Okay, so for suppressing these hormones, inhibin is needed. The inhibin is secreted by the Sertoli cells. Got it? Gonadotropic releasing hormone increases the sexual hormones activity, but it is decreased by the hormone inhibin produced by the Sertoli cells. Clear it is?